This week on Outdoor Bound TV, we take an early fall trip to Ontario, Canada, with a father and son from central Wisconsin. Now, this team is hoping to spend a few early mornings out on the water of Lake of the Woods. But as afternoon rolls around, their priorities will quickly change to the main reason for this trip: an opportunity to harvest an Ontario black bear. Take a look at this. Yeah.
That was intense.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Real Deal G2 Seeds, Brewpub Pizza, Meyer Recreational Buildings, and Colby Chrysler Center.
Real Deal G2 Seeds. The results speak for themselves.
Brewpub Pizza is specifically designed with the hungry in mind. It's big, it's bold, and it's outrageously delicious.
All of the entries are in, and it's time to draw for the Brewpub Pizza Hunt of a Lifetime giveaway. Ian, let's do the honors.
Okay. And the winner is Danielle Craning from Sobieski, Wisconsin. Congratulations.
Danielle, we look forward to seeing you in Alberta.
Brewpub Lots and Lots of Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Since 1957, Meyer Buildings has offered full design and project management for your farm, equestrian, commercial, and storage building needs. Our recreational building line specializes in the design and construction of affordable, remote area buildings for the outdoorsman.
This is my second Meyer building. I've been satisfied both times. Their design assistance, the quality of the construction, and their attention to detail. It's perfect.
At Meyer Recreational Buildings, we offer custom building solutions for all of your building needs. Log on today for a better way to build.
What do all these used cars and trucks have in common? All their previous owners have traded them in on a new Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Jeep vehicle from Colby Chrysler Center.
Guts, Glory, Ram. During Ram's Truck Month event, Colby Chrysler Center is offering the highest trade-in values combined with big factory rebates and 0% interest.
Isn't it time that you experience the Colby Chrysler Center advantage?
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Welcome home to Colby Chrysler.
Hi everyone, welcome to Outdoor Bound TV. I'm Kurt Walbeck. On this week's show, we get a chance to tag along with Bill Goodenough and his son Logan from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Now they're making an early September trip to Northwest Ontario to hunt for black bears with Outdoor Bound TV pro staff member and professional guide Mike Gabe. Now Bill's got his brand new mission bow all sighted in and ready to head out bear hunting for the very first time. So let's meet up with Bill and Logan, who are ready at camp in Nestor Falls, Ontario right now.
Hi, my name is Bill Goodenough. I'm from Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Earlier this summer, my family and I made our first trip up here to Sunset Cove and Resort with Mike and Aaron Gate. And I was fortunate enough for Mike to invite me back up for a bear hunt. I'd never shot a bear ever, so I was pretty excited and I jumped at the opportunity. He agreed to let me bring my younger son Logan with me so he could enjoy the experience with me as well. It was going to be an evening hunt, so the next morning we actually had some downtime, so Mike took us out to do some fishing out on Lake of the Woods.
Look at that crappie. Look at
That's a nice one.
We had an awesome time catching some walleye and crappie and perch, and the crappie were just unbelievable. The walleye were pretty nice too, but the The crappie were incredible. They were the biggest crappie I've ever been part of catching, so that was pretty unbelievable.
Good job, Bill. Thanks. Hit hard. Look at that.
Hey, we're here on Lake of the Woods. It's mid-September. We're taking a quick break. We're going to see if we can get some shore lunch and have something to eat before we get back out. We've been catching some walleyes and crappies, and now we've gotten into some perch. So we'll keep on going, see what we get, and we'll get ourselves some dinner.
Oh, nice. Look at the size of these crappies. These are absolutely incredible. You know, we're here in the month of September, and unfortunately the weather feels a little bit more like November. We got a northeast wind today, and wind's really pretty cool. But we're actually here bear hunting with Mike and Aaron Gate from Sunset Cove Resort. And we took a little break from bear hunting and came out in the middle of the day to do a little fishing. And Mike's put us onto the walleyes, and we've even got a few perch and now some beautiful crappies. So that's one of the advantages when you come to Lake of the Woods. Some great hunting here in this area of Ontario, and also some great fishing.
Bill's on.
So my son Logan, he got to come up here with me for the hunt. He loves fishing, and he was having a little hard time catching some fish, but then Mike let him come up by him and kind of took him by the hand and helped him get some fish in. So he was pretty excited about that, and he liked fishing right next to Mike, and Mike's a pretty good guy like that. He'll help him. He wants to put you on fish, and he wants to see the kids catch fish, so he was more than willing to help Logan catch some fish.
Another nice crappie. Jeez. Another fine one. Oh, there we go. Look at that double header. What do you got there? Perch?
I think so.
Rock bass. Look at that. A little bit of everything right here.
Yep.
You know that.
He is.
Nice one. All the right size for eating.
I tell you what, these crappies are incredible here on Lake of the Woods.
We had caught quite a few, so we had plenty for a fish fry. I think we were only out about 2.5 hours, and we were catching them left and right.
Yep.
Feels good.
What you got there, buddy?
I think it's a good walleye, I think. Oh yeah.
He wants to go, doesn't he?
There we go.
Nice one.
Look at that.
Fine Lake of the Woods walleye.
You bet. Perfect on Lake of the Woods. Well, I guess that'll about do it for us for fishing here. It's about that time we go back and hit our bear baits again and get ready to get back out and stand for this evening's hunt. And great day of fishing, and hopefully a great night of bear hunting.
Let's this guy go.
So after we got done fishing, we weren't far from where we were actually going to be hunting, so we went and checked the baits.
We're back on the second bait here. We haven't been back here for a few days either. So we're batting 2 for 2. We hit rebaited 2 last night. They both hit this morning, so looks like we could have an interesting night. So we'll go back, regroup, and come back and get set up, and we'll go from there.
we knew it was time to get in bear stand and get after the bears. We were pretty excited and pumped, and everything was going right that day. We kind of knew it was going to be a good night.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Mission, HHA Sports, Big Bear Down, and Bowen Lodge.
I'm going to be just like my dad, strong like him, smart like him, and now that I have my Mission Menace, I'm going to be a bow hunter just like he is. This bow is my beginning, my future. This is my mission.
Featuring an advanced perimeter weighted dual cam system, the Mission Menace provides power for the hunt and adjustability to fit any beginner, young or old. Visit missionarchery.com to find an authorized retailer near you. Mission by Matthews.
Optimizer by HHA Sports. The Optimizer Lite Ultra, voted #1 single pin adjustable sight for 10 years running. The Optimizer Speed Dial for crossbows, to-the-yard accuracy with a single reticle. And the Optimizer Horizon, offering unmatched accuracy from both short and long-range firearms. All Optimizer sight systems utilize range dial shoot technology. Ask for Optimizer at a dealer near you.
Big Bear Down. Whether you're looking for a sweet recipe for bear bait or quality bear scents, we've got you covered. Big Bear Down offers all their bait selections by the bag, the barrel, or in bulk. From crushed sugar cones, trail mix, and granola to our syrups, frostings, and bait toppings, we've got the variety to keep the most cautious bears coming back again and again. Big Bear Down scents can be used as an attractant or cover scent and draws bears in from miles around. Look for Big Bear Down by our distributing at 2 convenient Wisconsin locations or at a retailer near you.
Hi everyone, this is Gail High. Here is your weekly fishing tip presented by Bowen Lodge.
Come opening day, jig and minnow combination is the only tool I need to catch these Lake Winnibigoshish walleyes. Bring some 16th ounce, 8th ounce, and a couple of different colors. Get 6, 7, 8 feet of water, and you too can catch these fish right here on Lake Winnibigoshish. For more great fishing tips, log on to bowenlodge.com.
Last season, we received a record number of photos that you shared with us of animals that you harvested and fish that you caught, and we gave away some great prizes just for submitting your photos to the show. Well, this season the prizes are even bigger and even better, and all you have to do to be eligible to win is email us your photo or share it with us on Facebook or Twitter.
Prizes include an assortment of plastic baits from Woodcraft Lures, a Yeti cooler from Pete Rick's Service Station, fish taxidermy services from Mike Liga Taxidermy, a trip for 2 aboard the Grand Illusion 2 charter boat on Lake Michigan, and this year's grand prize, a 4-day, 3-night fishing vacation at Sunset Cove Resort on Lake of the Woods, Ontario.
And remember, you can't win if you don't submit your photo. Here are this week's Outdoor Bound TV viewer photos. Now, before we left you for the break, we were with Bill Goodenough and his son Logan in Nestor Falls, Ontario, as they're getting ready to head out on their very first black bear hunt. Now, after a morning of great fishing action out on Lake of the Woods and a quick check of the bait station that they're going to be hunting this afternoon, the duo is back at camp getting their hunting clothes on and getting ready to head out for the afternoon hunt.
We ended up getting up here to Nestor Falls, Ontario on Saturday. Got some fishing in Sunday, and of course we caught quite a few fish. The fishing is just tremendous here. Sunset Cove is right on Lake of the Woods, so you can walk right down and fish off the dock and do pretty good fishing. And we found out we were going to be hunting with First Nation guides, and they had been baiting these baits for a few weeks already. And I was also pretty excited to hear that we were going to be accessing the stands by boat. The stand was actually only 30 yards away from the Lake of the Woods. Had to try to figure out how I'd rather sit in bear stand than fish down in the lake, and the fishing is so good up here. And I got set up with a Mission ballistic compound bow, as it was going to be an archery bear hunt. And I was able to spend a lot of time shooting. I probably fired 600 to 700 arrows through it. Got the feel of the bow pretty good and got it sighted in real good, and my confidence was pretty good with it. I knew I'd be able to hit whatever came in.
All right.
bear killing time.
It's time. Ready?
Probably a 20-minute boat ride from here, so you see a lot of pretty views on the way out. It's just another amazing aspect of the hunt. Mike baited up the stand pretty good for us, and it had been hit since last night, so we're hoping to get some action tonight. I got my son Logan here with me. We're gonna crawl up in the tree and hopefully we see a bear tonight. It's pretty nice out today, mid-50s. A little breezy, but not bad at all. So we'll see what happens, hoping for a good night. As he was leaving, we could hear his boat pulling away, and Logan leaned over, and I remember him whispering to me if I thought we'd get a bear. And usually I don't ever say I think we will get any animal because it's hunting, but for some reason I told him we would because I thought we were going to get a bear that night. I was almost certain we would. It seemed like everything was falling into place perfectly that day. So I think we were settled in stand about 10 after 4. And I wasn't really expecting much action until after 6, and Logan, he kept asking what time it was and when I thought it would be, and about 6:45 I think it was, I just happened to be looking at one of the trails that come down the bait pile, and I seen the bushes move and I could see a black blob there, and I elbowed Logan, and all I had to do was look at him and he knew because my eyes were pretty big. And sure enough, there one stepped out and I could read Logan's lips saying, "Oh my God." And he circled a little bit just behind the bait, and he started to come in. And then he stopped and kind of sniffed the tree a little, bit at it, and then turned and walked away. And right before he did that, I felt the wind pick up and blow from us to him, so I knew he winded us. Like I said, it's my first time ever bear hunt, so I didn't know if he was going to be gone like a deer or if he would actually come back, but he ended up going downwind and circling around, and he was actually coming back in on the trail that we walked in on. And Logan, this time he elbowed me. He pointed that way, he saw him coming. So I took that as my moment to stand up and get ready, because I knew with the wind blowing he was going to be pretty jumpy, as he already left once. So he came in, same exact way he did the first time. This time he committed it, he came all the way in. And he rubbed up by the tree next to the bait for probably 10-15 seconds, and then he started eating on the bait, and he just stood there eating for probably, seemed like an hour, but it's probably only actually 5 minutes. It's kind of fun, cool watching him, and I could see Logan's excitement in his face. And every now and then he would glance up at us. He knew we were there, but he was just so hungry, and luckily the wind didn't blow from us to him again, so he can get our scent. So I kept wondering, I didn't know if I was going to get a shot, because I just kept thinking the wind was going to pick up and he would turn and run right back in and be gone, and this time not come back because he already had some. But finally he took a couple steps forward, and I took that as the opportunity to draw. He actually caught me drawing my bow. He turned and looked at us. And he took another step, and when his near side shoulder was forward, I set the pin and hit the release, and he took off and went down the hill and circled around behind us, and he actually stopped about 30 yards straight behind us, and we could hear him gasping trying to get air, and knew at least one of his lungs was hit. And then all of a sudden he took off and sounded like he ran for 30 or 40 yards, and all was quiet other than me and Logan shaking the stand because of our adrenaline. So we high-fived, and he gave me a hug, and I gave him a hug, and we kind of waited about 10-15 minutes. And then we decided to get down and just see what we had for blood. I knew my arrow didn't pass through. We could see it sticking out of him when he took off running, so we weren't going to look for that. And I was pretty certain he was down, but we just decided to get down and kind of collect ourselves a little and see what we got for blood and go from there. We got good blood right away going in, so I think we're going to be good to go. We're just going to wait for those guys to get back in the boat and then track them together and give them a little bit of time. But it's been a pretty exciting evening. It's pretty awesome. A lot of fun.
Did you really? 30 down.
No kidding.
He was right there, and then he just bolted back, and then he came around and ate the turtle.
Congratulations.
That's a nice one too.
Really? Good. Nice job, kiddo. Good eye.
Well, Mike got here and we picked up the trail where we left off. We had decent blood, but wasn't as good as we had hoped for. We found this first spot where he stopped, so we're just going to go ahead and back out and pick her up first thing in the morning. It'll be nice and cool tonight, so he'll be fine overnight. Feel pretty good about the shot. Pretty sure he's down, but we're just going to do the smart thing and let him lay overnight. Well, we got another beautiful morning here on Lake of the Woods in Ontario, Canada. Had a nice bear come in last night, put a pretty good hit on him. So we're going to pick up the trail now where we left off and see what we can find. Let's go take a look.
Go. There he is.
Beautiful bear. That's incredible. Congratulations, Bill. Good work, bud.
There you go, buddy.
That's a nice bear. Awesome bear.
We thought we heard him crash, but with the cooler temperatures, we decided to let him lay overnight and picked up the trail, and 40 yards from where we left off, here he was. He probably went maybe 80 yards total. So real nice Ontario black bear, my first bear ever. I was able to take this bear with this Mission ballistic bow. I got it a couple months ago, spent a lot of time shooting it. It's a real good, real smooth shooting bow. I really like it a lot, and that bow combined with the HHA sight is deadly accurate, and it definitely did the job. And Logan was right next to me the whole time. Pretty happy. It was an awesome day and an awesome experience, and he's a beautiful black bear. Pretty happy. We've had an awesome time up here, and now we're gonna get him back to camp and fry up some of the fish we caught yesterday. I would just like to take a moment and thank Mike and Aaron Gate from Sunset Cove from the bottom of my heart. Seems like life flies by. Sometimes you just got to slow down and enjoy it. And when I should have been at work and he should have been at school, but here we were up here and, you know, just having fun living for once. And Yeah, you can't even say what it means to me. I mean, these are memories up here that are going to be made forever. We're going to remember it for the rest of our lives.
Outdoor Bound TV is brought to you by Naze Baits, Golden Hawk Canoes, Rue Motors, and Burzhoff.
Naze Baits, durable, effective, unique. The must-have fishing lures for every musky angler. Crank it, rip it, fast or slow. Our flagship Livid Fish brings them in again and again. Put trophy muskie in your boat with Naze Baits. Go topwater with our 10 head. From deadly slow to an all-out sprint. Naze Baits. Get it done. Check us out online or pick up Naze Baits at a retailer near you.
Handcrafted in the heart of Wisconsin since 1968, Golden Hawk canoes are inspired by the tradition of early wilderness explorers and modern-day canoeing know-how, customized to meet your exact needs with precision, uniformity, and strength. Our unique, full-contour hull design contributes to stability, whether you're hunting, fishing, trapping, or just spending an afternoon on the water. Handcrafted fun and satisfaction for a lifetime. Golden Hawk Canoe.
Hi, I'm Tim Rue from Rue Motors. Whether work or play, we have the Kubota RTV for you.
Rue Motors has been serving central Wisconsin since 1947 with a full line of quality Kubota tractors, mowers, and RTVs. Backed by 4 generations, you can count on the staff at Rue Motors for outstanding sales and service on all of your quality Kubota products at both convenient locations.
Rue Motors. Take the short drive up Highway 45 in Burnhamwood or Antigo.
Hey everyone, if you've spent any amount of time in the outdoors like I do, chances are you've gotten those burrs stuck in your clothes. Well, I found a great new product to help you easily remove these pesky hitchhikers from your clothing.
Introducing Burzhoff, the first and only burr removal tool that works on all types of burrs and all types of clothing. No more pulling burrs off with your fingers. Brush them off in seconds with Burzhoff.
I take one with me everywhere I go. Look for Burzhoff at a dealer near you.
Product and promotional consideration provided for Outdoor Bound TV by these fine sponsors.
Hey, Bill and Logan, congratulations on a great black bear there in Ontario. You know, for many of us hunters, it's not about the harvest, but more about spending time in the outdoors with family and friends. When you get the chance, take the time to introduce somebody new to the outdoors. And hopefully you'll join us again here next week when we'll bring you more great hunting and fishing action from around the Midwest, around the nation, and around the world, right here on Outdoor Bound TV.
Right into the camera.
I think it's a world record sauger right there.
There you go. Whoa, professional release.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever the fish is ready.
Okay. What kind of walleye is this?
Another one for lunch.
Yeah.